All right, so everything starts with a thought. When we think of something, that thought turns into an emotion, and that emotion turns into a behavior. It turns into action. So, what we need to be careful of is what we think of, the thoughts that go into our minds, because the mind is very powerful. It can manifest things into reality. So we need to have a good filter in our minds, because we're just human beings. We experience things, we see things from social media, from our environment, and things naturally go into our minds. It's a crazy world in here. It's crazy in here. It's very random. It's very weird. So there's going to be bad thoughts, crazy thoughts, weird thoughts that come into our mind. And it's up to us to filter the good things and the bad things, because if you are not careful, if you're not aware of the things that go into your mind, you can be molded into doing certain bad things, So we need to be aware of the things that we put into our minds, and we need to have a good filter, so that way we can filter out the good things from the bad, because if you don't have a good filter and you have a very bad environment and you hang out with people who can influence you in a negative way, then you will be influenced in a negative way. You will turn into a bad person. You can become a drug dealer, you can become an addict, you can become a rapist, you can become something you don't want to be, because you don't have a good filter and you hang around with those type of people. If you have a good filter, even if you hang out with gangsters, even if you hang out with drug dealers or people on the street, you will be aware of the surroundings. You will be aware of the things that you put into your mind. Okay, this is wrong. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm still gonna be hanging out with you. You're cool. But there are things that I'm not gonna do that you do. You can be cool with them, but you just gotta be aware, so that way you don't get molded into their lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because have you ever heard of the saying where they say, oh yeah, he used to be a good person. He used to be a good person before he became a drug addict, before he became a rapist. It's because they didn't have a good filter. If they had a good filter, then they wouldn't be molded into things that they would see around them, social media, internet, the environment. There's a lot of things that we can be molded into if we don't have a good filter. So you gotta be aware. You gotta have a good filter. So yeah, man, how can you get a good filter? Well, it comes down from parenting. It starts from parenting. If you can mold your children into disciplining them, hey, these are the bad things, these are the good things, then that's what they will start to have a good foundation of filtering the good and the bad. So, but yeah, man, we're just humans. Bad things, evil things, weird things come into our minds, but it's up to us to filter them, so that way we don't get molded into doing those certain things. So have a good filter. Everything starts with a thought, turns into an emotion, and it affects our behaviors. So yeah, man, one love, peace.